Let's get this out. Time was a tie-way early. Your brother just called Karen. I'll keep Chris. Y'all on deck, LOL. Y'all know what to do, Karen, Chris. My brother called somebody else. My brother, Chris. My brother called. He called. Karen. I don't need no new numbers. They said that in the call. No, hallelujah. I know it's right. We short staff. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate Mr. Yahuah. Ain't it all right? Y'all all right? All right, it's good to be here. By the Khan of Yahuah. I guess everybody ain't for everybody, depending on where you're at in life. Where you need to be, Ruach is what's important. That's the thing that we're trying to make sure we capitalize on. Making sure in the last and Rosh Hashanah we get this thing right. And we definitely coming to a close. When it coming, it's closing. No coming to a close. This thing closing. And you got to make sure that you where you need to be. Every one of us, that's the whole objective, is to come in, examine ourselves, and see exactly where we are concerning the Barak. This is what we use for our measuring stick, so we can make sure where we are and where we're trying to be, and what's our expectation. He has expectation. You got to have expectation. So you measure yourself periodically to see, have you achieved that goal yet? Have you reached it? Are you at a mile mark, or you basically kind of keep plummeting down? These are the things we're constantly trying to go through and make sure that we get and make sure we got to understand it too. So without further ado, we'll go ahead. You know our foundation for those watching in who we greatly appreciate. I didn't see Wamanati up there. He must be running late today. Beth Mashiach is the program we're using. And of course we're using, we always use Romans 15:4. Why? Because you need a foundation. I want y'all always know when you come here, we build it. But the first thing to do is make sure you got a base. B-A-S-C, not B-A-S-S. All right, drop the B and that's where you're going to be at. So you got to make sure you get it straight. Our goal is to make sure we got a base. That determines how far we can go up. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
That's the thing you got to look at. You got to establish a base first. From there, you can go up. Y'all got it? Even with Yahusha, he had to establish a base coming here. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
That's how he was able to go up. All right? Let's see. This is Romans 15:4. Listen.
For whatever Nikatam before.
So for whatever was written before.
Nikatam Talamadus.
We talked about that before, to teach us, to show us, and to instruct us. That's all about where you're at and what you're trying to do. One thing is important to always know what you're doing or what's required, so you know what kind of performance you're supposed to give. When you don't know, you just don't know. You basically kind of just sit there dormant, doing absolutely nothing, because you really don't know. It's not something you really contemplate or something you really sat back with a seriousness to even look at. Am I there? Am I even on the path? Am I close? Am I kind of further away and I kind of lack something? And this is what we try to come and we try to make sure we do. Listen.
So that through endurance.
Going through without quitting. Something has to happen. He said, so going through without quitting, what happened?
And through the Nakum of the Ketubim.
So I would need to really know that before I knew about quitting. You know, to tell me not to quit, tell me first why not to quit. But here, you know, he determined it. He declared the end at the beginning. He said, I'll go ahead and tell you first, I want you to don't quit. I told it to you first, because this is where you're going to get to, and don't get there. I want you to use these writings to help motivate you to keep you from quitting. Now, these writings don't work unless you take them off of the page, off of the screen. You got to put them in your inner parts. This is what we got to do. We got to start learning how to put in our inward parts. When they're not in our inward parts, there's going to be a defect, going to be a fault. Because it's just like taking an internal medicine. If it stays external, what is it going to do? It's internal. What is it going to do if you keep using external? Nothing. Guess what happened to you? You've been using external. It need to be internal. You change the dress. You start the covering. You stop doing certain haircuts, the fading and different things like that. People, you know, things that people realize you just have to kind of move away from. We start making those adjustments because it's about salvation. Then for us, some of us, it'll be what we like, what being used to. Why I don't see why. Sometimes y'all a bald head. So Ray was straight bald head last week. So it's all about where you at. We kind of go in and out, I guess, around him. Periodically, I guess people say, well, ain't nothing been said in a while, so I guess it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's all about you. This is what y'all want to remember. Stop everything shouldn't have to be repeated, y'all, over and over. Even the book tells us, therefore, leaving the principle. A lot of things are principle that we do. A lot of y'all stay too elementary to go further. One thing you got to do, you got to get away from the elementary parts of what you're doing so you can move on up. A lot of times when it comes to growth, it's like, if you don't hear nothing in a while, some of y'all, well, we ain't said nothing about it, so it must be all right again. If I ain't said nothing about it, it's because probably we done moved on. Y'all heard me talk about women preachers? So I guess women can preach. I ain't said nothing about it in a while. Does that mean women can preach since I ain't talking about women preaching? So I don't get it with you guys. It's like, if I don't say nothing to y'all every day, it's like y'all are like, okay, I guess it's back on. No, it ain't back on. I hadn't told you that, have you? You hadn't seen me demonstrate it, have you? Then apparently it's not back on. Y'all guys have to stop that. Don't keep going. Y'all heard me teach about men wearing women wearing men clothes, right? I talk about it every time. Come on, get that check. My brother called. Come on, Ken. Ken said, I don't know which way to go right now. I'm confused now. You heard me talk about in the past. When last time y'all heard me teach about the women? You heard me wrong. That's them. So you see what I'm saying? So if I don't say nothing about it, does that mean y'all can wear pants now?
No.
It's because we gravity. This is what I want to get across to everybody. We're going to try to look at some things, Yahuah willing. But what y'all guys got to get out of is stop thinking if you ain't heard something that is back on. This is another mind you guys have. I don't have to hear about women preaching. No, women can't preach. Well, we ain't saying nothing about it a couple years. Guess women can preach. Are we serious? Is that where we at? How you gonna ever get to perfection? There are certain things you should get. You should have already accomplished to where that's not even a discussion. Eating pork. Do we really need to teach that?
No.
We should have been past that.
That's right.
But they ain't said nothing about it in a while. Maybe it's okay to eat shrimp now.
No.
I ain't heard them say nothing about it. So why not? Y'all know how you are. You know who you are. Y'all say if he ain't saying nothing about it in a while. Do y'all understand how far we got to get? How far behind we are? We are so far behind, and y'all know why we're behind. Because we keep dealing with elementary. Turn me down just a little bit. It's a little. I kind of. Why is it? Because it's out there. It's like I can hear myself twice. But it's like if y'all guys don't hear something like, okay, it's back on limit. It's okay to go ahead and do it because I ain't heard him say nothing about it. What? Somebody explain that mindset to me. Because somebody know the answer, but we don't know the answer now. Nobody know the answer. Nobody knows the answer. That's interesting. Because I would definitely have to tell myself something if I do it. Well, we don't do that no more. Well, we believe something different now or something, or we were told something different. What part is it with y'all if y'all don't hear something that's okay to go ahead and go back to doing it? You know he talked about who goes back to what they stopped doing? A dog. They go back to his vomit. So you have to be real careful about, if y'all don't hear me talk about it. One thing that keeps us from really elevating, honestly, y'all too elementary. You're too basic. Y'all can't get over a haircut. It's stuff I tell you, it's the simplest stuff with y'all. It's like, it's so baby. It's certain stuff he told her, he said, man, the laying on the hands, repentance from dead work. Do y'all understand how elementary that is? Repenting. Do y'all understand how basic that is? Mm-hmm. That's what you do when you first come.
Right.
Of course, when you're a babe, there's still mistakes you make. Y'all make catastrophes. You make catastrophes. And it's like, when you got this information, what we get, it's like, it's not, seriously? So we're hindered because we have to keep going back to baby stuff because this is where you guys are at. As a whole now, not every individual. It needs to alarm you on, alert you on what is it about you, the reason that you're comfortable with being a babe. This is where you start at. You know what I'm saying? Then you were told to go on. What was that again?
To perfection.
That's going to be a mature. Perfection, going to be mature. That's based off of Shaul's statement. Just remember he said when he was a child, what he did? What else did he do? Childish thing. What did he do later? That's right. When he became mature. Time means perfect. Mature. Basically, when you look at a man, because when you look at Adam was basically the perfect specimen. So you look at mature, you look at being a man. They say you need to be a man. What did that mean? They tell you need to be a man.
Mature.
Yeah, that's basically they're trying to tell you. He even told you how being in malice. How you supposed to be in malice?
Children.
How you supposed to be in understanding? Men. Why do you keep using men?
Mature.
See, a lot of y'all, even my kin, like y'all think I'm hard on y'all. I'm not hard on y'all. It's just when you've experienced a lot of stuff quickly, and you had to recover from a lot of things, and you look at how far people are. A lot of times with us, we judge people on appearance, and even Yahusha told you to judge not after the appearance of the eye. He said, but judge Sadiq judgment, because they got a lot of bad calls on him based off of appearance. And a lot of times we'll judge people based off of appearances, and you really don't know the whole totality of where a person really is. To me, being a man would encompass him knowing his creator. It would be very important for a man to know where he came from. He would need to know where his origination is from. He would need to know that. He needs to know what characters a man demonstrates. A man, the whole reason the whole world messed up, it was because of men. It's all been because of men. He destroyed the whole alarm because of men. It was because of a man. He destroyed it later when the time of Ruach because of a man. He said a man's thoughts are only Rosh continually. All these are things that should alert you as men to start looking at how you think and how you process stuff. I don't know what the solace or the joy of failure. I don't know what it is. Failure puts you too far behind. So that's something that I'm not good with. I don't like failure. Failure is something I try to stay away from. I'm the type I look at always adapting and trying to overcome quickly, get away from that situation. Because as men, we tend to crash hard. And that's because today men are very weak and shallow a lot of times. Because we use too many other different things to kind of, I guess, formulate who we are. So when something happens, we just naturally just kind of ball up and crash and roll up and hide. And look at where the world is today. This is because of the failure of men. The failure of men. As a man, you have to be in the forefront of, you have to be willing to make whatever necessary corrections. You have to process a lot of things quickly. You have to come up with an alternative as a man. You just have to. Yahuah did it. Yahuah did it quick. He said to process it quick. Once man couldn't follow a simple protocol, he said, I had to do something quick. He saw Mushah tell, he let them people, he said, man, kill them all. He said, I already got another plan for these people. I got another plan. And it's still going to be right. Somebody just interceded for us at that time. He looked at, why waste time with it? It's mind-boggling to even deal with it. But he showed you again where, the importance of an intercessor. Can we see that definite? Finish this first. We left off at through patient. We thought the end of the nakum, which keeps them from, are supposed to be helped to motivate you from quitting. And what else?
Other ketubim.
Other writings.
We might have tikva.
We have a cord. We talked about that. That cord represents hope. If you were down in a hole and somebody you couldn't get out and somebody threw that rope down, and what you'll do, you bust out crying. It kind of give you a light. You like, finally, I can get out. That's what the rope represents. Okay? So you kind of understand how they saw it. You know hope. You tied with somebody. For them, hope was actually having something that gave them the ability to escape what they were in. Y'all got it? That's how you need to see this. You don't because you process too many other things. You process trying to get something, you need to process how to fix your situation. He keeps a lot of us in these situations we're in, I'll be inclusive. But he puts us in out till you'll start the process where your real problem is at. It's with him. And it's designed to be that way. It's not going to work till you get it right with him. It's designed to be that way. That's just how it is. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's designed to be that way. Till it get right with him, it just ain't going to work for none of us. A lot of you, if it's working, then you're on a whole nother level. That's not a good thing for you. It's a bad thing for you. That's because he already done wrote you off. There's some people that tell you, man, it's working for me. And he knows it's working. And it's intended to work for you. Because he wouldn't have it any other way. He intentionally make things not work for you so you'll consider. What you supposed to do in the day of adversity? I go to the gym and shoot ball. Get my mind off of it. Anybody here got stuff they do to get their mind off of stuff? What you do? Listen to Zamar. Write, read. Anybody got anything else they do? Work out. What else? Anybody got anything? Do what? Eat. What you got? Meditate. See, he told us in every verse, he told us to consider. So a lot of those are our escapes. You know, you say you need an escape from things. Not when it's adversity. He said, I want you to consider. How did I get him? What happened? Hello? Even with Yosef, when he was in prison, you know he was doing push-up.
No.
When, yes, it was. He had his feet up on the wall. He was doing diamonds. He was doing diamonds. And then the chef came up. He was like, 1970. He was going out 74. No, he had to consider. And he let them know how he got there. He said, I was stolen from my homeland. He said, I was brought here. He said, I was here. He said, I hadn't even done nothing. He was considering, though. See, a lot of times we try to do other things to get around. It's designed that way. People say, well, you don't want to bask in sorrow. It's not about basking in sorrow. It's looking at what did I do to lead up to this.
Right.
Sometimes these other little avenues we might have. I made up the basketball thing. No, I don't. So, but a lot of times we do other things. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, but sometimes he needs us to really process where you are and how you got him. What signs did you miss? Accident happened. Police come. 2 cars smashed up. They just get out and they just hand people tickets. Y'all know, anybody been in an accident? Y'all know when the police just come up, they just start handing people tickets and get in. What they do? Ask questions? What kind of stupid question would they ask? What happened? What's that important? It's an accident. Don't be stupid, cop. Why? What's the process? What's the purpose of that? Because they need to assess, how did you get to this point? Where's the fault? You got what I'm saying? When Yuna, who they called Jonah, when they was on the ship and it started becoming a storm and tumultuous winds, you know what those people were trying to figure out? There's a storm out on the ocean. They were trying to see who we're going to do, who going to tap their foot, who we're going to do the tambourine. They want to find the cause. Let's go through everybody on him and find out what's the cause. How many times have you done that? You don't. You don't want to know the truth about yourself. So you escape it with trying to make it look like something else. Do your getaway, get your hideaway, and you never look at what the problem is so you can fix it. Those are the things that's key for you. It's just like sitting down, talking with Yahuah, having a real conversation about the type of person you are, about the things that you do, where you're at, and what you've done. That's something we don't want to do. That's like Adam. That's why he here. He said, I heard you coming, but I hear. That's what we do. You know it's coming, so you learn how to hide yourself. Hello? Hello? So this is something we're good at. Unveiling ourselves is complicated. We'll say, I'm a complicated person. Nobody complicated. That's a lie. People make themselves complicated because that's a way of getting out, explaining what you're actually doing. Don't believe that stuff by nobody telling no complex person. That's retarded. You got a heart, a brain, you got liver, lungs. What's complicated about you? What do you have that everybody else don't have? You're a human being. You make things complicated and use this to justify your rationale for what you do. That is retarded. Nobody's complicated. Everybody has the same thing. It makes sense. Well, everybody needs different rules. A complicated person needs different rules than we have. When you go to court, the judge shouldn't give you certain. They say, well, you're complicated. They'll let you know that you complicate the case with things you're doing. You're not complicated. Don't buy into a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is just kind of diagnosed. They get people like these. They like a nice way to try to put on themselves. For women, years ago, be like they like to be mysterious. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and use the toilet and clean the bottom of the bowl so they don't see that little turd stain there. Say it look like I'm mysterious. I still know you do. You was in there too long. I heard you at the door. Don't matter if you cleaned it. I just threw that out there. When it comes down to being people, I mean, the biggest and the best thing is just dealing with ourselves from just flat ground from where we at. Because that's where you start building at. As long as you keep masking and building on to what you got that ain't right, it's just gonna be more of a problem. It's just more of a problem. It's just more you have to tear down later. I watch some of y'all look so drug out, so beat down, disgusted. You gotta ask yourself, so what have you been doing? What have you been doing? Really, nothing. Yes, you have. You've been doing something. Your life is in the situation there for a reason. About life in the situation there for a reason. Don't act like things are without reasoning. There is a goal that has to be accomplished. And he allows things to come at you because you're not accomplishing the goal. Hello? Let me borrow it for a second. Stand right here. Every time you write down, you ain't got to worry about that, okay? Move to the right a little bit. What you notice? Why? What you need to do? Okay. You know why they were designed to be right there? So he'll know to move. Now let me see if I can know. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, I don't know what's going on. Stuff just be coming out of nowhere, just hit me for no reason. I don't know what's going on. That makes sense? He know what he know what he need to do. It makes sense to pray about it. It makes sense to, what you need to do, Lee? Okay. That's all it takes. That's what we do. So a lot of things he put there for that reason. Just when he put the donkey down, the Camor there, when it came down to Balaam, it was for a purpose. Everything for a person. Listen, he's riding the Camor, and the Camor, for some reason, this dumb, stupid thing is supposed to be going anyway day. The done took off and just shot right and done took off. And all he could think was to beat this thing behind. Because it made no sense, especially when you see the straight path. Why would you just take off on your own and just run off over him? So Balaam was so pissed on why this thing got off, and he brought it back and he smote it and beat it and wanted to kill it. Because he's like, it really didn't make no sense. When I've given you the direction of where we're supposed to be going, why would you just flank right and just take off like this? And the whole moral of that story they missed was, that was him. He was basically a Camor. He had basically took off and went completely out the way when Yahuah had given him straight directives on what to do. And when he processed it, you saw how he wanted to kill it. It was amazing because Yahuah had somebody else waiting to kill him too. And the only way for him to understand where he was the fact that he was so angry and so upset with the Camor and he wanted to kill it. He said, if this was a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now. So the Camor had explained to him why. He said, there's a Malachite in the front of us swinging a sword. This is why I did what I did. I had gone out of the way to keep you from dying. So sometimes when you say that you might work out or whatever you might do, sing or read or do what you're doing, sometimes you need to sit down and consider. You get a better process. Everybody. He put every one of our lives in a situation for you to consider. The problem we do, we learn to ignore stuff. Like you get pain. My elbow, it be hurting me when I be doing like that. Shoot, man, you know what I'm saying? You're a man, you just got to keep going. What's the purpose of it hurting? Something wrong with it. That's not a sign of be a man and just get past it. That's a sign of something's going on. Our body give us alert. Headaches, foot aches, different things. You know what all those for? Because something's going on in the body. You need to check it. Ain't nothing. You know, you're a man, you get all them pains all the time. Some pains aren't made to ignore. But these are the one, just like we ignore the signs in our bodies, you also ignore the signs that Elohim give you too. Hello? Okay. See that 33:14 book of Ayub, they call Job. Or Job. That's actually Job. Give me the book of Job. Ayub is the word persecuted, but in English it's Job. Man, go write down the paper and tell them that's his name. They're going to be calling that man Job. They ain't going to call that man no Job. Y'all all right? Ayub. It means persecuted. So be mindful of my time. All right, listen.
All speaks once or twice, yet one does not notice
Listen what happened. Now, Elohim speaking once. Yes, why?
Or twice.
But what happened?
Yet one does not notice it.
So who is he talking to? Him. Based on that statement, who are you talking to? Why you say that? I said hand. You'll get a check for that answer, right? No, that's right. You get a check, though. Go ahead. Us? Why you say us? Come on, bit man. That's two of them. Either he speaking once,
yet or twice, yet one does not notice it.
He talking to everybody. A lot of people. It had to be his own. Who else would know that? Who would know that 2 or 3 witnesses that we have at that point it's established for us? That's it. It's established for us. That's the only way we know. I hear one thing, I can't run out of that. So it had to be things that are similar. These are signs. These are odds for us. And you can't, and you've been missing them. He told you he speak once, yet twice. He said, but one doesn't even receive it, doesn't even respond to it. He doesn't even catch on to it. He doesn't even process it. That's somebody who should know. So they ignoring it. You see what I'm saying? They ignoring it. He's speaking to you. He's done this more than one time, and you hadn't even picked it up. Can we see what perceive means? Please. Perceive, become aware or conscious of
something.
Come to realize or
understand.
That's the only reason for it to happen. Was it Abimelech? When he took Sarah, what did he do? How did he speak to him? In the Kalamut, in a dream, didn't he? And guess what he did? He became aware. He became conscious of the act. He came to realize or understand that this man was going to kill him. Whew, if I had a dream last night, whoo, that thing threw me. I dreamed it more than one time, too. I need to really pay attention. See that? A lot of times we miss signs. We miss them. These are odds for you. These ain't something we just throw away. See, what got us a fairy tale, go to sleep, get kissed, kiss a frog, eat a poison apple, somebody kiss you and wake you up. There's a lot of things that mesmerize us. Fairy tales. Story, they put you to sleep with stories. Sweet dreams. He would tell you sweet dreams. See, when he gave us those Kalamut, it will warn us towards something. See, people came along and they gave us conversation. You bought into it. You want a fairy tale life. You want a fairy tale wife. You want a fairy tale husband. Everything you want a fairy tale. That's why it crashed, because it's not realistic. Not realistic. Somebody, a prince, going to come pick you up in a chariot and a pumpkin that he done made out of a pumpkin and drive your behind off nowhere. So quit being stupid. Real marriage, real situation, call for real people, real human emotion, real human thinking, real human everything. It's all about people, okay? So we got this perceive. Come on back over what we got. Listen.
In a kalam, a kazum of the layla.
See that? Now it's or vision of the layla.
When sound sleep falls on anashim.
See that?
While they slumber in their beds.
While they slumber, while they turn around in the bed, what happened?
Then he opens their ears.
And do what?
The ears of anashim and seals their instruction.
See that? What happened?
That he may turn Ish aside from his conduct and hide pride from Ish.
See that? And at one time, that's how we got a lot of these situations happen to us. Man got it that way. He'll see a lot of things in a Kalamut. Like that, he came along, guess what? They using us. Hello? I don't know what y'all looking at. And the time before, when he spoke to the Abo, how did he speak to him? By the Nabim. He said, when he led Yamin, he done spoke to you by a Ben. See, time change. You trying to go to sleep to hear something. He got a man that cried out to you now. Hello? I'm trying to tell y'all now. He tried to tell you that. See that 1346? Acts of the Shalakim? See that 1344? That's all purple. Matter of fact, before you get that, yeah, 1. Give me Abarym 1 and 1. Then I'll come back over here. Abarym. They call Hebrews 1 and 1. Then Acts of the Shalakim, I think that's 1344. Let's see. Listen.
The Elohim who spoke in time past.
Hold on, let me get it. It's Acts. Acts of the Shalakim first, 1344. We'll come back to it. I wanted 44, not now. Okay, it might be 46. Give me Abarym, Hebrew 1 and 1. Okay, listen.
The Elohim who spoke in time past at many times and with many shanim, within shanim, unto the abode by the hand of the Namaim.
See that? Now what happened to the dream? So they always, someone waiting on the dream. He told you how he spoke to them. And in the last, back in the earlier times, matter of fact, when he spoke to the abode, to the fathers, by the hand, and you use the yard because the hand symbolized working. That was Elohim working. That's why you see the yard at the hand. It symbolized work. They knew what they did with their hands of working. Hello? Even when Yahusha came out, his name, what is his name now? Yahusha? What letter form starts that out?
Yod.
You ain't gonna believe me, he told you hitherto my Abba working out work. They had the same name. That's what the yard is. The hand symbolizes work. Hello? So when he showed them his hand, it also symbolized them showing what was inscribed upon it. Also showing I've been working. You know, sometimes you look at my hand, you know what I'm saying? Them working man hand. That's what they recognize. Look at hand. That man been working. Man was up on the stick portraying signs. All right, listen.
Spoke to us in these last Yamim, has spoken to us in his being.
Has spoken in these last Yamim, last day, has spoken to us in his being. Listen what he said. 2.
Whom his Shem was to inherit all things, and also he made the Alam by his hand.
Listen.
And who being the brightness of his kabod, and the image of his substance, and sustains all things by the debar of his power, after he had purified of our Kataim by himself, he sat down at the right hand of the majesty on high.
See that? That way he could hide himself. That way he put himself out. Look what he is. He became the brightness of his kabod. Isn't that right? You got the Shemash up there, but then you have a brightness that radiates from it. He said, that's me. Isn't that right? And he sustained all things by the word of his power. Give me a hand. What you think? That's off your dome. This is what y'all thinking. Situation. Seriously? Let's try to say. Do you have an answer or you just gonna try something? You had an answer. What happened to it? Because you say I had, that means it's gone. You don't have it no more. You still have it? What is it? Adam? In the garden? Why did you say that? He said because it says sustain all things by the word of his power. I wouldn't use that one. Maybe. I mean, he ain't bad. I mean, be a young man, he ain't dumb. But I would have looked at Pharaoh. When you look at Pharaoh, and the reason I use that situation for us to understand how he sustained all things by the word of his power. When they came back to Pharaoh about a decision that Joseph had made, he told them to go back to Joseph. And whatever he said, do it. See, because he overrode, he was the first ruling power inside of Mizraim. They tried to go around and go back to Pharaoh. Pharaoh sent them right back, which means he said that man's word stands. Same way they tried to get around Yahushua, they went to his aim. When they went to his aim to ask her about them getting something done, she told them to go see him. Whatever he say do it. So they went to his mother and his father. And they made sure they sustained it. Whatever he said, that's what stands. Y'all got it? In the 119th division of Tahalim, you had to get it in 89. It said, Alam, Elohim, the bar is settled in Shamaim. So it ain't moving. He sustained it. He said, I settled it. That was the purpose of sitting, making him the word and sitting him down. It sustained it. Y'all got it? It stands. Nobody gonna override it. Y'all got it? Nobody gonna overturn. That's good for us because whatever he created for us, we're looking for that to stand. Hello? A lot of times you don't realize how important it is for us to manifest the behavior because our goal is to obtain the Ruach HaKadosh. And in obtaining Ruach HaKadosh, the basics of what we have to do, you guys learn how to skate through it. You ran through and you did it enough and thought that was it. You was good and you got comfortable. Let's see Acts 2:36. This is Acts of the Shalakim. I know I called 1341 is what I wanted. Matter of fact, go and get it right quick so just get off the table. So I know sometimes I tend to leave stuff up there. 2 and 36. 2, 36. After 1341, listen what he told you.
Behold, you scoffers, marvel and perish, for I work a work in your Yamim, a work which you shall not amon if someone tells it to you.
Now, when you hear it quoted right there, it quotes it just like it do. I think I'm not sure. I think it's Nahum is the book of one of them. He told you about despisers and wonder. He told you, though it be told you, in Acts in the book of in the translation of King James version of it, it told you though a man told it to you, but it actually records back from the Nabaim, from the book of the Nabaim. It just said though it be told you. And that they would have simplified by putting a man, because you weren't going to hear no spirit tell it to you anyway. I always say you ain't going to hear it from a woman. You ain't going to hear it from no other way. You're going to hear it from a man anyway. So it could very well that the writer took it upon himself to put a man, since he put it in the hands of a man through reconciliation to recover. So he didn't put this in the hands of a Malaki. He put this in the hands of a man. Isn't that right? That's who he gave it to. He's going to use man to reconcile man back to him.
That's right.
Y'all got it?
That's
if
right.
that was used to cause them to fall away, he was going to use that to bring them back.
That's right.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
I mean, typically we'll look at it. That's how I left. I don't care. I don't want it back that way. But the way he established it, because it's his plan, isn't that right? And he designated. So we just puns into play. It's our goal to, instead of trying to fight it and trying to look at how we would do things, it's our, or it should be our expectation to learn how to evolve around how he does things. Y'all got it? All right, well, come on, Acts 2 and 36. Listen.
Therefore, let all the Beth of Yasharal know for certain that the Elohim has made this Yahushua, whom you crucified, both Adon and the Mashiach.
See, y'all hear what happened? See that? All Yasharal were down. He said, let all the house of Yasharal. That's every matah. We never paid attention to that, did we? They were down. Everybody down. Why would you say all the house of Yasharal? They were Yehuda. Yehuda had Jerusalem. So let you know people coming. He referred them now as all Yasharal, and not just Yehuda. For certain that Elohim had made this Yahushua, whom you crucified, both the Adon and the Mashiach. He made him the master ruler, and he made him the anointed one. Where we going? Come on. 37.
And it came to pass when they shama this, they were pierced in their lob, and said to Cuff and the rest of the Shalakim, Anashim and Akim, what shall we do?
That's what they want to know. After they were cut, after they had finally gotten through, now they want to know what they need to do. When you going to get to this state? One of the things that happened, and you know what makes sense with letting us know about they were pierced through the heart, he continued to talk about their hearts being stony. Mm-hmm. He talked about them being hard-hearted and their heads being hard as adamant stone. Because things weren't getting, when people say, you can't get it through your thick skull. He talked about adamant stone because they knew different rocks were different. I told them to put a millstone around. He didn't say just put no rocks. Certain rocks don't carry the same weight. He said better have a millstone. No doubt it's heavier. You can beat and grind, it don't break easy. It's heavy. So you put it around the neck, you go down quick. You just say just put a rock, you think a rock. He said, no, I got this. I'm more or less, I'm specific about what I'm trying to get you to do. I want you to put something heavy that's going to take you down quick, that you won't be able to escape and get out of. He said this will be a better punishment for you, which means they'd have had to been knowledgeable about that. Certain things go down quicker than others. Certain things are heavier than others. The fact that he caused that to realize that's a heavy burden. Isn't that right? I know it's a heavy burden. I want you to consider it. And I'm telling you, this is a better situation for you than what you contemplate doing. See, when you don't know, you don't know. It's just some word, but make no mistake, he knows exactly what he's doing. This is the problem he got, and you guys miss. He's calculated. You're not. You won't count up the cost. You look at, I'm going to get mine now. He looking at, I'll get mine later. I'll wait till you ain't in your strength when you can't recover. It's nothing for him to come and get you. He don't care about you laying up on no deathbed. He says, I'll make you suffer it then. And I'll still take you out to burn. I'll make your way so hard you can't even die. You know, a guy told me he seen special about Teddy Pendergrass. Y'all know he had that wreck, and he went paralyzed with quadriplegic. He said he would have killed himself, but he couldn't do it. Can you imagine that? Who else could put you in that state? I just want to kill myself. He make you a quadriplegic because he said, I know you'll do it, but you're not going to do it. I made sure I'm going to make you suffer this out till I take you out. He looked at, if I just kill myself, it'd be easy and quick and I'd be done with it. He make you a quadriplegic where you can't do it, but all you can sit there with the thought of masking on. Man, if I could just kill myself and get out of this. And he looking at, you won't get out of this one this season. I purposely designated this for you. You know, you can look at people, government set him up. They set him up in Philadelphia. They didn't like him. No, Elohim marked you. Mm-hmm. Elohim told you he won't be marked. He said, whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap.
That's right.
Every one of us. That's why you have to really sit down. You need to consider when you're here. These people, they only got this situation because of what they heard. This the first time they heard the word? No. It hit them today, though. That day was different than any other day. That day they considered, you know what else they saw? People had gotten the Ruach HaKodesh. Nobody seen that fall on no people before. These people had been there and seen it. And we started to tell them about what happened and how he was going to sow signs in the Shamayim above and in the rocks beneath, blood, dawn, fire, and vapors of smoke. He said before that great and that awesome day before he come back in. That's what he said. Let me freely speak to you. Let me just talk to you, just be flat with you. That's how they got to their point when they heard and realized everything you had done nothing against the truth. Everything you did been for the truth. Every one of y'all here, you don't even know it. Everything you have done have been for the truth. Everybody been here, everything they done been for the truth. Because you hadn't stopped it. See, the only way, how's we going to know is test it. You done it. What you could do to tear it down. It's still up. People, why is that so? Why is it? You had to do it. Because he had to let you see you can do nothing against it. It'd be all for it. Think about it. Yahusha sold him out. I mean, Yahudah sold him out. That was bad. That was good. Everything they did, it was for the truth. Everything he did. He told you, he said, Dawood wrote to this man. And let his table be a snare. That be for a trap and a recompense. And let him bend his back always. He said, Dawood talked about this man. So everything that you thinking that you are getting away with, it's all working for the tube of Yahuah. It's all working for the purpose. Listen, everybody here, everybody out there is working for the purpose of Elohim.
That's right.
Y'all know why he ain't got everybody in him? Who we going to fulfill what's going on in Jerusalem right now?
That's right. That's right.
I couldn't do it. I ain't even going in now.
That's right. I
done read it, but so it wouldn't happen by my hands. He said, let those that, if you ain't in it, he said, don't go in. If I was in there, you ain't gonna believe what I do. I'll grab a weapon, I'd be fighting for him. He said, if you in it, get out.
That's right.
He said, these be the days of vengeance. Do you know if people who have gone back over there, they're on news report, they gone back to fight. They have no idea. They thinking they fight for him. You couldn't think you fight for him. The word clearly told you, don't go in there.
That's right.
And told you, when in it, get out.
That's right.
He said, because these be the days of vengeance on their people. So guess what? Now the people who going in and the people who won't get out, what y'all think they're doing? They disobeying him. No, they're not. They're doing exactly what he designed them to do.
Right.
So like you are. This is why it's so important when you sit down. Why you think it told, therefore we ought to give? What was it again? More serious. You got to have a more serious state of mind. But you don't, because you got too many other things you contemplate, too many other things you're trying to do. It won't work. This don't work for everybody. This has to come out the page. Y'all hear this? These people got, what? So this is the first time they heard the word, they got pricked? No. They saw what happened. They were witnesses to what happened, and they're sitting here listening, man, telling them, this man is going to come back and destroy this place. Back me up right quick. Sit at 2 and 14. Same book. Acts of the Shalakane. I ain't got nothing made up. What you got to do is stop making up your life and make it the way he told you to do it.
That's right.
That's all to it. That's just being honest. How long you going to keep being you? At some point, you got to stop. You got to be what he made you to be. You've been the worst thing in the world. Why would you want to be you? Let's see. But
Cuff, standing up with him, the 11, raised his call and declared to them, Anashim of Yehuda and all those dwelling in Jerusalem, that this be known to you and Shama to my Dabarim.
Mm-hmm.
For these Anashim, they are not drunk, as you say, since it is the 3rd hour of the Yom now.
Tell them we don't drink wine early in the morning. Go ahead.
This is what was spoken by the hand of the Nabi Yahuah.
Mm-hmm.
It shall be in the last Yamim, says Elohim,
What you gonna
that
do?
I shall pour forth my Ruach on all Basar.
See that? There was symbolism for us. That's what he told you he was gonna do. In the last Yamim, he said that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna pour out my Ruach upon all unashamed. Listen what happened.
Your Benim and your Banuth shall Naba.
See that?
And your young Anashim shall see Kazum.
See that? Your young are gonna see Kazum.
And your old Anashim shall dream Kalamun.
See that? Come on.
Even on my Abadim and on my handmaidens.
See that? He told you, I'm gonna put out on my servants and on my handmaidens.
I shall pour out in those Yamim of my Ruach, and they shall Naba.
Listen what happened.
I shall give wonders in the Shamayim above.
See that? I'm gonna start doing something so they'll know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna start putting ox in the Shamayim above. Tell them what has happened.
And ox in the arats beneath.
See that? And in the alarm, right here where you at, on the arats. What happened?
Dom. And fire.
And fire.
And vapor of smoke.
What is this gonna be? About a couple of years?
The Shamash shall be turned into Kashak, and the Yarik into Dom, before the coming of the great and splendid Yom of Yahuah.
See that? So what did he tell me at that point?
It shall be that everyone who calls on the Shem of Yahuah shall be saved.
So you see that? This ain't for everybody. They missed it. He would let them know what was going to happen. It was going to be similar. A lot of you ain't going to be able to do it because your law going to have to be in a certain place.
That's right.
Your mindset, your law going to have to be thinking in a certain aptitude in order for you to be able to obtain it. Even though you heard it, you're not going to be able to do it. Because there are things got to put aside, there are weights that are not going to allow you to transform. That's just being honest. Y'all want the truth?
Yes, sir.
No, you're not going to be able to do it. As simple as you heard it, because you're not going to do what it takes to do it. That's why these guys got pricked in the heart. What are they looking at? They just saw it happen to them. And I don't want to miss the next time it happens. So I got to be in an attitude. Heart wasn't pricked till they heard that. See? It takes certain things to happen. The cause to put you in mindset, to trigger you, to get you to a point that you finally alert to become conscious to this. Hello? Okay. So let me ask y'all something. Yahusha sat down and ate bread with them after he arose from the moot, combed from the moot, rise from the dead. When he sat down and ate bread, then what happened? He breathed on them. And what happened? He told them to clean. Who sat down? I'm gonna need that check. Who was that? Who was that? Who was that? Who said that? That was you? Come on, Chris, just serve it this time for me. Yeah, for some reason, some of my spirits saying you probably need to put that check. So he breathed on him when he broke bread on him?
No, that's not what he did.
What he did? What happened?
The eyes were open.
Eyes were open. That 2 check, because you just recited somebody that answer. You could have got that right the first time. Thank you. And they knew him. A lot of different events happen to trigger people into getting the Ruach HaKodesh. I know people look and say, well, when I'm going to get it? Well, when you going to put yourself in the aptitude to do it? That's an attitude you got to have to receive it. That's a servitude you got to put in to get it. The men with him walked with him for 3.5 years. Why they didn't get it as soon as he talked to him? Hello? That's an estate you're going to have to be in. That's a mindset you got to be in to receive the Ruach HaKodesh. The man not pointing. Listen, you're an old bottle. He said people don't do that. He said people don't do that. You think Paul and son going to pull a bottle out the garbage and it smell like wine, the bottle stinks, they got some trash, look like some tobacco, maybe some mess or something, there's some mayonnaise on the bottle, and he put fresh wine on. Who's interested? A drinker. Nobody drinking that stuff. They're like, man, that thing look disgusting. The bottle look disgusting. I wouldn't pay for it. And that's what he look at. How many of y'all would pay for it if you was a drinker? You went, how many of y'all was a drinker? How many of y'all drunk Parmesan? How much y'all would pay for it if it looked like that? Like some kind of mess on it. Like, I don't know what it looks like. Me, not some stuff you just, anything you can identify, what is it? Mess. So that's what it looked like. That's anything that's like, I don't know what that is. That's a mess. And you're not paying for it. You ain't gonna believe it. He paid for you with the precious blood of Yahusha. Now, you look like that bottle. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Then didn't y'all just agree to me you wouldn't pay for that mess? How hard is this to figure? You tell me what kind of bottle you that he won't purchase you. See? See, it ain't hard. He just let you see. Basically, let's look at you. In order to get you to see, would you pay for something look like this? You're like, no, it's nowhere in the world. He said, that's all I'm saying. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't purchase it. He said, it'll almost be an insult to try to sell it to me. Isn't that right? Because it almost plays you in time. Me walk over, so you like, you might think I'm a fool. Man, you better get out of my face. That statement said nothing, I'm about to swing on you, you don't move. So what you think is you keep putting in his face? Hello? Somebody keep trying to give you something nasty. You saying, gone, get out the way. And then you looking at, okay, at this point I'm tired of talking. So where is he at? Tired of talking. So you see how we got that? How long it take you to get tired of talking? Dave, how long it take you to get tired of talking? Somebody keep trying to shove something in your face. Come on, get it, man. Yeah. So you got to figure how. Now he long service, so it just keep going on too long. You know what you keep saying? This done went on way longer than I wanted to go on. This should have been stopped. Don't y'all know that's how he looking at us? I don't let this went on a whole lot longer than I should have. I should have cut this off. You know, he kept looking at with them. I should have cut y'all off. He looked at, I should have cut these people off. I let it went on too long. And he realized when it went on too long, it dropped the validity that people had for him about he'll kill you instantly. He ain't one to play with. You need to take him serious. Because people started, people ain't down. Ain't doing nothing. You know, sir, like we would kill you, would play with stuff, you would scare you, but you'll keep, and you keep saying how close you can get, so you feel like, they ain't gonna do nothing. If a dog or something, you keep playing, till you try to see where the dog, the way you at, that it ain't gonna do nothing. It just be barking, it ain't gonna do nothing. You'll keep trying. And he said, that's what you done with me. And you took me being long suffering as I wouldn't recompense you. So you continue to get worse. Okay. Now he got to come back here with a destroying weapon in his hand. So now he started going, I don't have to get this part, but right here we're going to look at what happened with these guys. But give me 2 and 1 right quick. We kind of basking through, but just pay attention, just follow. Somebody asked me a question. We'll see how quick we touch on. This is Acts 2 and 1. On the Yom of Shabat, what they're going to call it Shabat, Pentecost they call it. After 7 completed weeks, 49, all of them were collected with one law. You see what he did when he brought them together? Hello? So this is what hurt too. This is what hurt you, why they don't. When he brought these, after 7 complete Shabbats, all of them were, so typically from them farming, how you collect? Pluck up together. Tell them again. The teat. If I'm picking up apples, I'm not gonna put an orange in them because I'm collecting the apples. I'm collecting peaches, I'm not putting a pear in them. I'm getting peaches and I'm getting those I feel like they're all kind of in the same grouping. You know what I'm saying? This is a good one. 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 These are the ones I'm gonna put in the basket. I'm not gonna put the good and the bad together. I'm gonna put the ones I felt good. So when he collected those people, it was because they all had one law. Is that what's going on here? No. What he has here is a bag full of mismatch. People's minds, hearts, everywhere, on everything, and salvation is just not premium. That's the problem. So now you know what you have to start doing? You go through the basket and you start throwing stuff out. He told you, this ain't hard, I'm telling y'all, I know. He told you when a man drank a net, he said, basically what I did, I drunk a net. He didn't pick, I drunk a net, and I wound up getting all this. He said, but make no mistake, I'm going to sit down and go through this net. And I go through this net, I'm going to look at what I really went fishing for, and I definitely wasn't trying to catch this. And that's the stuff he going to throw away. He's talking about discard. He said, that's how I'm going to do it. He said, just like a fisherman does. When he gets his catch, when he pull that net up, if he's shrimping, when he get through, he might have a crab, he might get an eel, he might get a dolphin, he might catch anything in a barracuda. You ain't going to believe it, dang. I was on the shrimping. All this stuff got to go because I'm shrimping. I drew up my net for shrimp. I wasn't trying to catch no dolphin. I'm getting rid of this stuff because I'm not willing to bring it back in. What I have, I'm looking to take to the market because I'm trying to get an increase. So he tries to get us on that mindset so you could be more big. See, Yahusha was business. You guys, a lot of times, you're not business. And you're not business minded. You're looking at marketing yourself. We're trying to market ourselves for him to pick us. You're just a bad product. I mean, just being honest, on a marketing scale, it makes no sense to pick you. Hello? That's just being honest. He's a businessman. So he tries to teach you how to market yourself. This is what I like. This is what I desire. Why would you do anything else if you're trying to get him to purchase you? The man is trying to purchase a living room set. I'm trying to sell him a toilet. I'm trying to tell how he can sit down, just like he can on the couch. The man is looking at me like I'm some kind of fool. I clearly told him, man, I'm looking for a living room set. I don't know why this man trying to sell me a toaster. It makes no sense. I never came here. Toaster didn't come to my mind. I came here with one mind of what I was trying to get, and I'm not looking for nothing different. And we're trying to convince him, say, hey, I know this ain't what you want, but buy it anyway. If somebody told you that, what would you say? How much conversation would you give me to them? When they told you, I know what you want, but won't you buy this? You think something wrong with this person. I just told him what I want. Why would you be trying to sell me something? And you know what? That's amazing, because you never saw nothing wrong with you. Because you've been trying to sell him something he don't want. That's why he ain't bought it. It's not what he wanted. If he wanted, he'll get it. Okay. All right. So we talked about that. I just want you to understand first that all of them were
collected with one lob.
Come on.
Suddenly there came a call from the Shamayim like a violent rushing wind, and it filled all the beth where they were sitting in it. Mm-hmm. There appeared to them divided tongues in the appearance of fire, and it sat one by one upon each one of them. Mm-hmm. And they were all filled with the Ruach HaKadosh and began to speak with other tongues as the Ruach gave them to speak.
All right, let's move right quick. Auryah, they call Luke. Auryah, chapter 24, verse 44. Call it Luke. Mm. 24:44, Auryah. Listen.
He said to them, these are the Abarym which I spoke to you while I was still with you.
Y'all see that? Meaning, if I spoke this while I was with you, I'm telling you, I'm getting ready to go. I'm leaving. So everything he said, I'm going back over. This is the same stuff I told you before. I ain't got nothing new. They ain't had nothing new. He said the same thing I told you when I was with you. Same thing. Listen.
For every katab about me shall surely be fulfilled in the Torah of Mushah, and in the Nabaim, and in the Tahalim.
Concerning him. Well, let's say concerning him. Then what did he do?
Then he opened their lob to understand the Kitabim.
See that? So what did he do? Hands? I heard the mouth raise. Go ahead, tell him, Ken. Gave them the ability. That's what understanding. He gave them the ability to be able to comprehend it. That's what you lacking. Listen, it's only two things keeping you from not getting this. Either you lack the ability to do it, or you just willfully not doing it. Ain't but two reasons. You lack the ability to do it, or you just willingly not doing it. Okay, there we go. Let's think about it. Which one am I in? I don't know. But you know how to do wrong. You practice how to do wrong. So you make sure you're good at it. So you're willing to just put yourself outside of being qualified to be saved. Because only two ways to do this. He opened their understanding that they might, this just the faith he opened their understanding. He said, I gave you the ability. Whole time you lack the ability to do it. Something we don't think a whole lot of understand, it's the ability to. That's why he gave them the ability to. Certain things are kept back until you get the ability.
Right.
It's certain tutors. It's certain tutors. They get you, they can enlighten you. All they do is give you the ability. They just show you the tricks to doing it. All he did, he said, let me show you the trick of the trade to get this done. Sometimes I get them to show you, and they'll devise a plan to show you how to able to be able to accomplish and get it done. That's what he did. He said, let me show you how to do this. He was a tutor. He went back over it again. He said, I see y'all been doing it. You hadn't got to do it. So now when you get it, you can embrace it. And before they've been reading it, it's just been now you've just been reciting it. You need the ability to be able to comprehend it so you can dissect it. You know how to do it. Hello? That was it. That's what he did. Listen, when Mushah went up, he told him to see that he do all things. What was that again? After the pattern. And what did he come down to kill him for? For what now? Not following the pattern. Now, let me ask you a question since you said that. Kind sir. Did you ever think he probably didn't have the ability to do it? It shouldn't have took you that long. You're exactly right. He had to have the ability. That's why he was coming to kill him. That's why he was coming. Why you think he gonna kill you? Because you studied trying to play like you stupid. He gonna kill you because you got the ability to do it. I got a 3-month-old baby. I'm gonna beat it behind. I get home, he done been missing that pamper. I told him to. What the police not gonna do? They find out about it. By me disciplining my child. So the government got a right to come to my house and discipline me when I'm disciplining my child. I done talked to that boy ever since he been here. He don't listen. Why you laughing? Don't have the ability. But so you saying I shouldn't treat him like I should do my 15-year-old who messed in his underwear? He ain't fair. He don't think I should do the same. Why not? Then it ain't gonna be fair judgment. The 3-month-old been talked to since he been here. I've been talking to the 15-year-old since he got here, and both of them use the bathroom. Both of them use the bathroom themselves, and I'm doing the right thing. I'm whooping both their behind. What's wrong with y'all? So he must gonna let you off, because you're gonna pull. You don't know no better, right? Yours ain't gonna be justified. Your destruction gonna be justified because you're not willing to. The whole purpose of setting that book up is to give you an opportunity to avoid it.
That's right.
Kind of like community service. I'm trying to let you work it off. I'm trying to pull you back in the way you still get some correction, and at the same time, you still got to do the work. He gave me the opportunity game, but you got to do the work because everybody that obtained it had to do the work. So you got to do the work. You got to be partakers of the affliction too. So you got to get paid, first of all, getting recompensed for what you've done, let alone now suffering for doing Sadiq. You ain't know what near suffering is doing Sadiq. You still paying for everything you're doing wrong.
That's right. That's right.
And you ain't got paid for that because you ain't stopped. That's the problem. A lot of it don't add up till you stop.
Right.
I got a bucket full of groceries. Bucket full. As soon as I put the first thing up there, let it give me the total. Ring it out. And you know what happened? And I'm trying to tell you, you ain't got the total. She said, you ain't finished putting all your stuff up here. I want to total now. I said, I can give it to you, but we still got stuff you got to put up here. And that's what you want to, I just read you. What are he going to do to me that's going to get to me now? He said, you still got stuff in the bucket. I can't give you an accurate total. Well, I just wait then. You can do it, but you still got stuff in the bucket. I gotta pay you for what you got. See, you ain't never looked at, did you? You still got stuff you got to pay for. How you going to get an accurate total? Hello? Now, this is the thing about it. I know I'm growing now because I can take correction. Well, you're really not. If you were growing, you don't got past that. You'll learn how to take correction when you ain't guilty.
That's right.
See, that he done told you. He said, there ain't no reward for that.
That's right.
Folk blame Adam for running off. Adam could have stood right there. He said, what reward that? He said, you did it. Them joke around. I ain't running. I'm standing right here. He said, I'm going to still kill you. You shouldn't have done it. He look, you know how we look at least I ain't try to run off. I know what I did. He said, well, I'm going to kill you. Because he's trying to get her from thinking a lot of times this is now we better. You start here, you got to move away from that quick.
That's right.
You got to listen, you have to, how that going to work? I'm saying I just smoked a cigarette, throw it out. Now somehow I'm suffering for a namesake. How many of y'all believe that? Why am I suffering? Come on, I did something before the cigarette though. They done jumped straight to cigarette. You gonna ask me what all you did before the cigarette? You trying to get paid for something you done to me. How much stuff you done over the course of life? You see what I'm saying? So now you're not even far removed from what you've been doing. How do we discern when I'm suffering for Sadiq or I'm suffering for stuff I'm still doing? And now we're looking at, I want 238 Ruach HaKodesh. Now ain't removed from your kataim. Now ain't removed from the mindset. That's the thing about it. It's a tight run, but I want to see what we get. Come on, finish this up.
He said to them, thus it is katab, and thus it is decreed that the Mashiach shall be afflicted and shall come from the moot on the third yom.
Y'all see that? He said that was decreed. No way to get over that. It's already been stated. He learned to do something we didn't do. He just went with the writings. He said it was already decreed. He's going back over it. The only reason why they're getting it now because they seen it happen. They like you all. Why would I believe it? I ain't seen it. He did a lot of talking about it. Then had years about he going up there, something gonna happen. And post with eating Qatar. I don't believe it. I can't even see that happening. So now since it's happened, he let them know. Now I go back over it. Guess what? Now it gives more validity to the writing. If this way you at, you ain't even gonna be saved. This is the problem. With them, they had the excuse of. Got it? Why would I believe it? I ain't seen it. Who can bound and imprison Elohim? Couldn't imagine that. So a lot of things is beyond comprehension for them. Who can see that? The son of Ben of Elohim come down here and man overtaken. I don't see that. So they did just like we do. We don't see it. Why? It don't even sound probable. It don't even sound like it's probable to even happen. So now when they start believing it? After what? They seen it. See, what separates and makes it different for us than them was those were people that believed it because they seen it. This how connect me to Abraham. I believe and I didn't see it. See, he allowed for me. He didn't allow for he allowed for those folk that seen that. He allowed for all them folk had been with him. Then he came back and he allowed for me. He said, I'm not praying for these 11 alone. He said, I'm praying for Tony Smith and all them that should believe on me through what they said. He knew it's no way. He can't, in order for me to believe the way they believe, he got to come back and do it again. And he's not going to be crucified no fresh, not no twice. See, he set this whole pattern up for a reason. Witnesses, aunts and sons, all these things. That's what made the belief that I have a little different than, well, it all comes to the same factor of we come to the same common cause, but it's the fact of my profession come in through them going through and me believing it and not actually being there. And the fact I'll hold to the decree like they did and they saw it. Who couldn't believe it? They walked right there with him. I'm sitting here at the door. Anybody gonna tell me if all these doors closed and somebody appear right here in the middle? I'm talking about, I believe, shut your mouth. I have faith. Man, I just seen it. Who can't believe what they see? That makes no sense. I'm believing what I read based off of what they saw. Hello? Everything. Listen, I had to have Amunah. In order for it to be established, it had to be predicated off of something written. Something told me, and I'll hold it at decree. You guys can't get it because you won't hold it nothing. Everything shake you. He told you that you be no more children. What was it again? But what? Probably like a ship. When a ship get tired, ship ain't in control. When that storm go, that ship do good by itself. Now, when that thing get it going, that ship go where that water go. He said, that's you. Like a child, it depends on your attitude, depends on the day of the week, depends on the situation, depends on what you feel like doing. It don't matter about the day of the week. Don't feel what I feel like doing. I still got to live right. Yeah, that don't matter what happens. I lose thousands. I was telling man, shoot, man, I lost over $1 million. I guarantee you, I ain't went nowhere committing no sin. I ain't counting my man, please. Man, please. Surely your life compiled around more than that. I lost more than most of y'all gonna ever see. That's just being honest. At the end of the day, ain't got nothing to do with my soul being saved. Listen, man, I'm in for the fight of my life. So he counted on me. Somebody come back and we make it tight on them. Oh, let's make it tight on them. He got that, man, look at Shamshon. His mom and dad told, Amaleki came to me and told me about you. And Amaleki came and told my mom them nothing. I got to stand on the writings. Don't be had appearances. Who couldn't do it? Man, I'm sitting here, whole mouth shaking. Fight, I'm hearing voices. What are they talking about? I feel like I got faith. Are you serious? This thing, smoke, fire, thunder. I'm sitting here, we shaking, move. Seriously? Seriously? Mine was built off of what they went through. That's how I'm pointing 15 and 4 is the man. That established me. You don't even realize how I know your eyes stuck on them people. I know it is. I ain't talking about them people like that. I'm talking about these people here. I know your eyes stuck on them. Because these people had real occurrences. These people here, they seen it. You imagine you'd have seen the yam open up? What that would have did for you? You'd have seen that thing open. We were coming for something. This all water. Me and Pharaoh. It's me and a whole bunch of with on chariot. We come to kill you, and all you see is yam. You see the yam in the sea. This thing open up, and you go through it on dry land. And you get to the other side, I'm getting ready to come through. It done held me back and let you through. I get ready to come through, me and all my friends, and we just get drowned in you. Why? And you say, you know what? I believe. I feel like I have faith now. Me, I went there. I ain't seen it. I go stare at the yam. The yam gonna stare there doing the same thing it been doing, and I guarantee I'm still believing.
Yeah.
So you tell me who's standing. See, that's based off of them. Only he could set something up like that. I know you're looking at me. Who couldn't believe it? It's not a whole lot of count on these people seeing the fact that you saw it. It wasn't that hard. They saw it. You saw Abraham. Abraham didn't see nothing. Y'all see that? Abraham didn't see nothing until he did it. Abraham moved and done it before. He didn't get up there and no ram came out no thicket. He talking about, I believe. No, Abraham went on there. He said, Elohim provide. Whether it's you or whoever, Elohim provide. And my confidence, I'm going up. That's why he's looking for people to stand like, all those people established out what they saw. Come on. All those people established out what they saw. I'm not criticizing, but please don't get it twisted. Everything I got, I had to believe this because of writings. I had to believe I can't sleep around with you and no other woman off of writings.
That's right.
They had to believe that all people died right there.
That's right.
They heard the thunder. They seen the light. They seen the flash. Don't matter about no money. I still had to stand.
That's right.
Don't you know he's got to regard that? See that the 20th chapter of the book of Yahuchanan. 20. Yahuchanan they call John. I'm trying to get y'all finished. Let's see something. We'll do 21. Let's just roll down through them. All right, listen.
And it came to pass on the one of the Shabbats, as it turned toward morning, while it was still dark, Abarym Magdaleth came to the Kabar and saw, and behold, that the Aban was removed from the Kabar. She ran and came to Cuff and to the other Talmudim, whom Yahushua Ahab, and said to them, they have taken the Adon from the Kabar, and we do not know where they have put him. Cuff left along with the other Talmudim, and they went to the Kabar. Both of them ran together, but the other Talmudim ran faster, past Cuff, and came to the Kabar first.
We've seen another fellow like that. Go ahead.
He peered inside and saw the burial garments laying there, but he did not enter.
Come on.
Cuff came after him. He entered into the Kabar and saw the burial garments lying there. The scarf that had been on his head was not lying beside the burial garments. Instead, it was folded up by itself in a malkum. The other Talmudim who came to the kubar first, and he also entered, he saw an Aman, for they did not yet understand the kitab, that he would surely come from among the moot.
See that? Went in there, look at that. These folks done seen the man up on the tomb, crucified, taken down, carried off, buried. Third Yom, after Shabat, they come here, the stone moved, look at him, he gone, the body wrap laying in one place, the napkin by their face folded up somewhere, and still ain't caught on. Still ain't caught on. And here I am believing. Listen.
The Talmudim returned and went to their bed. Abarym stood outside the kubar, and she wept. And it happened, as she wept, she peered into the kubar. She saw two Malaki wearing white, sitting in the malkum where they had put the basar of Yahusha there, one at his head and one at his foot. They said to her, Asha, why are you weeping? She said to them, because they have taken my Adon away from here, and I do not know where they put him. And it came to pass, when she finished saying this, she turned behind her and saw, and behold, Yahusha was standing there, but she did not know that he was Yahusha.
What did she do?
Yahusha said to her, Asha, why are you weeping? Whom are you seeking? She thought him to be the guard of the gun. So she said to him, My Adon, if you have carried him from here, please tell me where you have laid him, and I shall take him from there. Yahusha said to her, Abarym, and she turned and said to him, Ra, that is, Murray. Yahusha said to her, Do not touch me, for I have still not ascended to my Abi. Please go to my Akim and tell them, I am ascending to my Abi and to your Abba, and to my all and to your all. Abarym ha-Magdalith came and told the Talmudim about whom she had seen the Adon, and what he had spoken this to her. And it came to pass on that Yom, which was the one of the Shabbats, at the time of the evening, when the door was closed in the beth, where the Talmudim were there, for Yahuah of the Yahudim, Yahusha came and stood among them and said to them, Shalom be with you. After saying this, he showed them his hands and his side, and the Talmudim rejoiced when they saw the Adon. Once more Yahusha said to them, Shalom be with you. Just as the Abba has shalak me, so I am shalak you.
We'll send you too.
After saying this, he breathed on them and said to them, Take for yourself the Ruach HaKodesh. And it shall be that all those whose kataim you forgive shall be forgiven to them, and those whom you condemn shall be condemned.
So let's look at this. Just listen to what he was read. You guys should have picked up. The situation was similar to Adam. When I said it was similar to Adam, he told you about what the Abba had sent him to do. He sent them to do too. He sent them to give forgiveness of Kataim, because they was basically a replica of him. What he sent Adam to do was to do what he did. This is the same thing he sent the Shalakim to do. He gave them the ability to be able to get a man to retain or get a man that he can wind up remitting. So this is what we find out he gave them the ability to do. He said, he sent me forth and I sent you forth. Shalak, I sent you forth just like he sent me. So I sent you forth with the abilities that are similar to what he gave me. Because these guys were representing somebody. Come on.
Tomah, who is called Didymus, one of the 12, had not been in their midst when Yahusha entered. The rest of the Talmudim told him about it, saying, We have surely seen the Adon.
You see that? We think we did by faith.
We have surely seen the Adon.
They said, we seen him. Go ahead.
He said to them, If I see the wound marks of the nails in his hands, put my finger on the malkum of the nails, and put my hand on his side, I shall not amon.
You see that? That's the only way for me. That's what he said. Come on.
And it came to pass, at the end of 8 Yamim, his Talmudim were in the beth, a second time, and Tomah was with him. Yahushua entered, and yet the door were closed. He stood among them and said, Shalom to you. After that, he said to Tomah, extend your finger here and look at my hands. Reach your hand here and place it into my side. Do not let your nah be lacking, but rather aman. Tomah answered and said to him, my Adon and my all. Yahushua said to him, because you have seen me, you aman. Barak are they who aman, yet do not see.
That's how it starts. See, he wrote about me. Like he talked about Musha. See, had you believed Yahuchanan, you would have believed me. He wrote about me. Tell something to live. Everything you waiting to do, you waiting to see it and touch it and feel it. My confidence was established by the writing and through incidents, through happenings that I've endured with him to increase it by this. This is a good start, but then you need to have your own events. See, even Thomas showed you that. You saw him, listen, 10 of them come and tell you they seen it. What did you need to do? You been with them, you know they ain't no liar. Why? They ain't gonna know. 10 of us tell you something, you know we ain't no liar. You still need to see it. Just the 10 of us that you know for a fact ain't no liar tell you something. You got to still see it. That's right. The average us would. But if you didn't, you know why that would be, Justin? Because for you would need to have that. For all of us. So guess what? For me, because of situations, through me learning him by other people through situations, then having my own encounters with him, allowed me to be able to create it well, I don't have to see it. I'm just waiting on his appearance. Now, a lot of people can say that, and believe it or not, everybody waiting on his appearance. Whether they're doing what's necessary for his appearance or not, that's to be argued. But the thing in waiting for the appearance is to maintain a behavior.
Right.
To maintain a course of action, if that's what you believe. When you don't believe it, then you're going to kind of, I ain't sure, who knows, I don't want to mess around and put everything in this, all the eggs in this basket, and then it don't be, and I be left out there, and I could have been doing something else. That's how some of you serve. I ain't going to lose nothing doing what he told me.
That's right.
I learned to put my confidence in them. I learned to adjust myself to realize I got over certain things and come to a realization that I have to believe that when things happen, that's the way he pre-planned it. And that it had to be from a tool. Now, this is the only way it's not. What you doing? The reason it wouldn't be. What are you doing the reason it wouldn't be? Because the only way it wouldn't be, you wouldn't be doing what he told you to do. So if you're working toward doing what he told you to do, or you're in that area, then it's got to be working for the tool. That's what Joseph said. Remember how he slapped that brother in the face by when he punched it? He said, nigga, I'll knock your teeth out your mouth. That nigga come trying to apologize, man, my dad. He said, man, listen. He said, am I instead all of him? He recognized that. Only person who can really give you that judgment, that mosh pot, he said, going to be all of him. Joseph told her, that's how we learned it. He said, because if I was in the stead out of him, I could. Now, he was put in the stead of Pharaoh. Boy, working in Pharaoh, he could do it. He told him he could do it. He was going to lock him up and put him to custody. That was in the stead of Pharaoh. He said, but in the stead of Elohim, I ain't able to do that one. All one can do that is Yahushua. Hello? Shaul said, now, we do beseech you. We do, what is that? By the who? Say it again. He getting lower and lower. He's shaking his head out there saying, yeah, say what you said. They were talking. Say it again. Say it where I can hear you. So if you stay in the same place at the same level, we're going to keep doing this like 20 more times. Out of the come on the living on hand? Did you do what? Yeah, as we give it to you. You know why you can't remember? Because you just put so much stuff together right then. I was going to say, I thought you were going to keep going. I remember one time I had a guy quoting, I'm going to just, and a guy named, this young guy, he was throwing the dusters and the these and now. I said, keep going. He kept going, and he kept going. I said, it was completely wrong. He kept thinking he was doing the dial in the dusters, like maybe it was right. It wasn't, but I was just trying to see how far he was going to go. Now we do beseech you in the Mashiach stead. After all he did beseech you by us, we allow you in his stead. Be reconciled. He talk about being ambassadors for representing. They talk about standing in the stead of. So there were certain things in his stead. That's why he said, I shall lock you. So that allowed them to stand in the stead of. See, a lot of stuff, that's why they could do some of the operation they had. People, regular preachers try to do it too. You shouldn't. Because he hadn't shalak you. That's what people mess. I'm just telling you, a lot of stuff you shouldn't do it.
That's right.
He shalak them. He just told them. He just told them, God, they could remit.
Right.
And they could retain. He told you that?
That's right.
He told you that?
No. He
ain't just sitting on everybody preaching. That's where y'all mess up at. You can't do that.
That's right.
Everybody, even because you from Louis, did that make you a Kohen?
No.
Some people were singers. Some people were door kids. They were porters.
That's right.
You can't do that. One time he used Louis when they had so much meat to flay. He said he had to use all of them. He didn't do that with everybody. And people take off and just thinking everything belong to everybody. Everything don't belong to everybody. Even with Kohen, you had a Rosh Kohen.
That's right.
Every Kohen couldn't go into the inner sanctuary. Only one could go in. The Rosh Kohen could go in.
That's right.
So a lot of times people just be assuming you hit like these groups. They set everybody off.
That's right.
Every brother preacher. That makes no sense.
That's right.
Every brother preacher. Ain't nobody to teach it. Every man can teach. That makes no sense. So you just have so many things going. I don't know, man. People everywhere. I just rather let's take our time, make sure we get that right. You trying to take the Ruach HaKodesh, we're gonna have to sit down. We got to get real serious about some stuff. Where you at? How serious are you about this endeavor?
That's right.
When I get confused, I got something going on, then I flake out. You're not serious. You're just not serious. I'm not serious. I flake out. I can't do it. Y'all think I can get to flake out and then come back? So how you get to do it? He said you're supposed to have one manner law. One manner. So how I can't do it and you get to do it? Because it's supposed to be one manner law. I be letting stuff get in my mind, and that's right, I let stuff get in my mind. I can't do it either. That makes sense? So how you get to do it? The people he collected all had one heart. They were all minded to do the same thing. Why are you minded to do something different? Because you look for excuses, you look for reasoning and for rationale to justify what you're not doing. Then now, it makes no sense. Self-inflicted. 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 So you see what it is? Yahusha said to him, because you have
seen me.
Because you have
seen me.
You?
Amon. Barak are they who Amon yet do not see.
That was a beautiful thing, though, he got to see that. You probably like to be there, too. Now, who you think we got the best Barak?
Amon.
The one that got them rubbed there. But you know what, though? Glory. 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 Eyes done seen. The king got you. My eye done seen. What did he say? Who?
Amon and hadn't seen.
That was beautiful how King seen it. I ain't saying nothing. I'm believing. They are based upon writings. They're not just beliefs you take on yourself. They're based upon the writings. They are based upon incidents, situations, coincidences that I've gone through, I've encountered with him, which have increased my amunah with him. Y'all got it? Not physically seeing. Y'all got it? There are some things that have happened in my life that have played a part in, but for the most, I've been left to, you have to depend on what you know. That's showing me whether it's right or not, too. You got to depend on what you know, how do you use this in this situation. The outcome of the situation determines whether you use it properly. And if you use it properly, it manifests, he's in this. Hello? See, they used that before when it came down to Auryah. After he had proving out whom Elohim was over Baal. After that, he departed, and he told him he went into a cave, and he called him out. And he told him how they had killed all of the Nabim. He said, and I alone am the only one left. And Yahuah became angry. They told you about some events that came by. So when it came by, said he was not in it. There was a fire broke out, said he was not in it. Said it was a still small voice. And you know what they didn't tell you? It wasn't him. So they learned how to identify. Y'all got it? Because listen, he told you, even Satan gonna come with some, he told you with lying wonders. You reading a book that he done read too. Don't you think he know how to make some occurrences happen? So those occurrences happen, and you will think that they correlate with him. That's why you got to pay attention. He told you here the conclusion of the whole matter. He even told you not to judge them before the time too.
That's right.
Because you can move too fast.
That's right.
Let's just wait it out and watch it. See, a lot of y'all, you get caught up with the wrong signs. Be looking for a comment. This is something y'all do. You got any questions? Keep them. Keep them. Your questions ain't going to have nothing to do with what we're trying to do. Just keep your questions. I already know a lot of folks got our questions. Don't ask them. Just keep them. They ain't going to have nothing to do with what we're doing. Because we so far removed from what we got to get to, let's just focus on what we got. I've been wanting some questions on that, and you keep them because they're not going to help you. If you ain't doing what you need to do here, don't worry about them questions you got. They're not going to help you get no further ahead. Let me tell you something. Y'all want some truth on it? Take your time. Look at where you're at. Let's get this thing right. You trying to obtain the Ruach HaKodesh. This is a seal on a clean life. Some of you have already fainted in the way, and you are manipulating yourself to believe it's still clean. It's clean and kept the way it's supposed to. He'll seal it. He'll seal it. Don't get yourself manipulated. Don't let time be the issue to come in and manipulate you now. They'll make a fool out you. Because as you're going through your seat, there are things you're going to have to still drop off, things you still got to get rid of, still things you still going to have to convert over from. So it's a real challenge. You remember, we're trying to get to Talmud. That's complete. A lot of us are counting drinking, fornicating, adultery. I ain't lying as much. Just when it's necessary. You see what I'm saying? So it's so many things you got to look at. We really got to make sure you really got to take this walk a whole lot more serious. I know, and for some of y'all here, that it gonna kill you. It already kill someone. I know ain't gonna be saved because they say I can't stop all the lying. That's what I'm saying. You still got the struggle hang up here. You still got too much of you in the way.
That's right.
That's just, we got to come straight in the middle. We just got to halak the right way. That's just bottom line. You trying to obtain the Ruach. How valuable is it to you? Will you get rid of everything, or will you get rid of most of the things? I'll get rid of some stuff. Some of y'all, that's where y'all at. Tell the truth. I'll get rid of some stuff. Who heard me say get rid of some stuff? That's the key right there. Oh, that's extreme. And you got to grow. Because you don't want to move. See, now precaution kicks in. You don't want to move too fast. And lie to yourself and get rid. You already lying yourself, you still got it.
That's right.
That's it. Where you stand at and where they were, the people took it a cursed thing, and that was the stuff that somebody didn't tell them. It wasn't mob. How did they get that cursed thing? Who that tricked them to get the cursed thing, Boston? Boston, he not reading. The guy that got them, that tricked them to take the stuff they weren't supposed to take. Justin, who was the guy that got them? You remember when they had went in the camp? They had took that stuff. The guy that told them, the guy that fooled them with it to take it. Who remember? Who remember when they took the cursed stuff? Does anybody remember they took the cursed stuff? Who was that told them? The guy that tricked them to take it. What happened? You trying to say they just took it on their own? After he told them not to take it. That be you. That be you. That be you. See, the people knew it. He said the chief of the thing, they should have, even when it came down to Shaul. Even when it came down to Shaul. The man named me and asked. If you didn't know, Why you ain't ask? That's what the name meant, ask. Why you didn't ask if you didn't know? So a lot of stuff we do, it makes no sense. But again, it's based on what are you really trying to do? I'm trying to be honest with yourself. You ain't really trying to do this. This is not something you really trying to do. You just done got comfortable with Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Because you know, the Saturday night, after that, they back on for 6 days. See, you can condition yourself to any type of behavior. So it's bad. Like when you first start doing Shabbat, it's bad. Yeah, because you used to doing stuff on Saturday. It's like your whole Saturday is wasted. How many of y'all remember that? Man, it's like, goodness. And that son be sitting up there, you be looking at that son and say, nope, I'm finna go higher. Man, it's like y'all praise me, I'm finna go higher. You thinking, man, by the time this thing fall, goodness, you can't do nothing. Everything closed. But now guess what happened? Now you don't sell out to, I done learned to work around Shabbat. I still do 6 day worth of stuff in my heart. I can still keep they ain't supposed to do. I don't physically work, but I physically keep some things in me that's contrary to his will. But I believe in the Shabbat, though. I do believe in keeping the Shabbat. But when he said, keep it Kodash, that means I want you to separate it from everything else. Separate it. That's the thing we're trying to learn. Now, when you get that Shabbat, then we want to learn how to do a complete separation every day. So it's just temporary because you go right back after that. And that was the problem. People stop, repent, go right back. Stop, repent, go right back. Kind of like the Shabbat. After Shabbat, what everybody do? Go right back. So, man, listen, I'm hollering at y'all. I gotta go to work. So, man, you just off. You ain't hardly getting no time. That's what he look at. You want off no time before you started back messing up. I'll do it good for about 3 years. So just like a Shabbat. You went right back to what you used to do. That's why we got to sit down and get real practical. We're trying to obtain the Ruach HaKodesh as a whole. The key with these people were one heart. You guys aren't. You guys are flip-flop. You this way, that way, do this. Maybe I pay time, maybe I won't. Maybe I forgive folk, maybe I won't. Maybe I hate, I keep hating. I got all kind of other hang-ups and other kind of stuff. Some of y'all make up problems. Y'all a job. Anybody ever tell y'all was a basket case? It ain't nothing but a teeth. Basket cases. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, y'all got to remember what you came here for. Mm-hmm. Hello? See, those people, and the reason why we kind of went back on, I touched on this, my time going to fail me here. But Yahuah, when we're going to finish up on this, because I really want to make sure we kind of get a better understanding about obtaining Ruach HaKodesh. But I want to make sure at the same time you understand what you're actually supposed to be doing, where you need to be now, since you say you came into a repentant state, okay? See, Yahuchanan had a better immersion than what you guys actually got with no name. He at least set the people up for it. He let the people set them in a mind and a perspective of it was need for to repent and to cleanse themselves. That's how he was a forerunner. He was setting the people in mind. That's why he was a forerunner. See, Yahushua, all I got to do is come through. All I got to do is seal these people. Yahuchanan cried out on these people. He let these people in this man, I immerse you in water. But one come out of me, he going to do it with the Ruach HaKodesh. It's going to be like fire. He let the folk, listen, that's why he was cutting down on it. I'm trying to clean you up before you get in the water. Now you got to pet, stroke people, pet them. Don't yell at me. Don't talk at me. Talk to me. All them little cute little good center word make you feel good because you don't want to not use your education. But let's go with what you want. What state you in? You're not in the state, so you need somebody to holler at you. Yeah. Fuss at you. That was Yahuchanan. He cried out. Yeah. Man, Yahuchanan ain't cut that man. He said, eat with you sinner. Yahusha sounded ate and drank with you. He told Yahuchanan, I ain't eating, drinking nothing. Yeah. I'm immersed into repentance. He says, somebody come, I don't know who warned you to came. And what you bringing ain't even sufficient. That's who y'all should have got immersed by. He cut you down at the immersion. Can you imagine you come down feeling good, man, cut you down. Who warned you to come? Man, bring forth Pari meat for repentance. And don't you dare open your mouth and say nothing about no Abraham. He able to raise up these stones under Abraham. Man, let you know he going to lay the axe to the root of the tree. Yes, sir. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Let that man know this. That man comes, his winnowing fan is in his hand. He gonna cleanse his floor. Let your folk know exactly what he gonna do to you. And you gonna sit here and you gonna play it long enough. And he done tried to warn her. He will warn her before the man come back here. See, you know what? If you were scared right, you wouldn't be committing katan.
That's right. That's right.
That's the problem. You need to be scared.
That's right.
You need to be scared to fall out the corner, Yahuah. Y'all not afraid.
That's right.
That's scary. It's scary that y'all not afraid about telling this man a kazar. You're not afraid about going against this man. You're not afraid about making commitments and you breaking with this man. You got to get past that stuff. That's scary. Them dangerous spots. Now, you can sit around and fool yourself and say, well, whatever. I might be just going out there in the street. That sounds good. But when you see that man in person, that's a bad place to be.
Yes, sir.
All them folk that make that stuff that they saying, I mean, what it is. I'm going. That's cute when you ain't down.
Right.
Wait till you get down. That's when it's tight. I'd rather get mine right while I'm on this side.
Yes, sir.
I'd rather get mine right on that side. I don't even want to play with it. All that stuff sounds good. Folk run their mouth. What you gonna play and do? That's what bad. This is really bad for y'all. We're in the worst world. This is the worst world you're gonna get, okay? The worst world you're gonna get. World ain't been worse than this. You done started to play for folk under us. This the worst you're gonna get them. And you know what you find to do? Sin. You add drunkenness to drunkenness. You already drunk. What you drinking looking for? What you say? That's just, what you see a person drunk, you see him drinking. Drunk, I'm talking about drunk, crew paired out. What you think? Huh? That's stupid. You know what he's saying? You already deaf, and you drinking more deaf. You already cut off, and you set yourself to be cut off even more. It's scary. That's for everybody. People, y'all got to consider where you at. This thing folding up on you. And listen, it's not supposed to look like it's happening. That's why he say coming like a thief in the night.
Right.
If it looks like that everybody is happening, what everybody gonna do? Everybody's stupid.
That's right.
Come on.
That's right.
Who's stupid?
That's right.
That is stupid. Folks, you think folks stupid? A lot of these folks gonna start turning. They gonna start, man, listen. Whoa, I need to get right. There's something going, this thing in. I got right now. They don't think nothing about it.
Nothing about it.
Man, I'm getting ready. Listen, it's beautiful. Coming up to Christmas. Man, get out my face with that stuff. Tell me I know God come back. Man, Jesus' birthday, December 25th. It's supposed to be like that. He told you. Yes, sir. That weekend we had a marriage. You know, he said, this what's going to happen to get ready to come back.
Married and giving it
because it's not supposed, he listen, everything, he's going to be married and giving it married. He said, till the flood come and take them all away. He said, listen, it's going to be a flood going to come in here. It's going to take everybody away. That's how important it is to make sure you're right.
Yes, sir.
How important you to quit playing around. Now, they get serious when they hear certain stuff, but your heart is set to play. And this is the sad part, he know your heart is set to play. You're in a dangerous place that you hadn't taken seriously your salvation. And a lot of y'all have not taken it to heart. And you're in the last round now. That's it. That's it. We about to get out of here. It's just a matter of time. That man gonna fold it up. What y'all think? That war not finna end over there no time soon. Them people, man, listen. I watch them. They almost look like they finna settle, make agreement. Israel said they won't stop. They said, listen, we will destroy all of Hamas. They steady bombing. Do y'all know Israel just called for the head of the UN to sit down, to be sat down?
Yes, sir.
They told him to resign.
Yep.
The head of the UN.
Yep.
You think that man finna resign because they said it. You know what I mean? Other countries finna be pissed on. No one has asked the UN, say, you ain't got no power to tell nobody no UN to resign because you've been called out. Now you're gonna just make it worse. I said, yep. When you're dumb, and you just make it worse. And they people with the Torah can't even read it. But you know what the thing with them? No, they only stuck with the last part of it anyway. They don't even believe the other part. See, they'll fall or come in right through their blindness. The blindness wasn't gonna kill it. You know what thing? Oh, don't worry about it. You blind too. You still commit sin. You got the new one and you blind. They blind with the old one. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to talk about it today. I ain't get deep in what I'm doing. Yahuah willing, though, we'll finish this up Shabbat later. I want to get through how they have me. Y'all kids, y'all repeat me. Raha. Come home. That song. You got the song. That's good. All right. Come on. Give Mr. Yahuah a hand clap. Give me money. Here, we second.